Okay, let's get this show on the road and see if we're streaming out there to the social media world or not. We are. We're up. Beautiful. Welcome. Awesome. Now let's rock and roll with everybody else here. There we go. John from Lexington, Washington. Hello, sir. Hey, Brittany. What's going on? I need to know if you're a first timer, long timer. You tell me. Sophie from Chicago. Laura from Soak Rapids, Minnesota. That's cool. Charlotte, Mississippi. Hello, Janine Ball. Hello. Britt, how you doing? Pink Honey, woo woo. Ryan in Ann Arbor, love it. Travis in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Kenzie in Tulsa. Hello, Faith. Hello, Adrian. Let's see. Yeah, Sandy from Wisconsin. Beautiful. Lexi, Arkansas. Shelby, a long timer. Excellent. Dallas in Miami. Miami needs to open up. Let's see. Why can't I comment on the DNC? Hi, Brooks. What's up? What are they afraid of? They're afraid of intelligent human beings like us, noble patriots. Georgia, long timer. Yes. Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Rick, welcome. Atlanta, Robin. Hello, Annie. Hello, Amy. Lisa in Virginia Beach. Patricia in Smyrna. Excellent. Hello, Patty. Aloha. Tatiana? Is that how we pronounce that? Wisconsin. Okay. Hello, Jody and Rhonda, Kentucky. Excellent. Susan Cosgrove in Western New York. Hello, Susan. Amazing practitioner and healer out there. Jadon in Ontario, Canada. Long timer. Sarasota, Christina. Elaine, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Michelle, Winter Park. I miss you, Michelle. We don't spar back and forth anymore. Cindy in Cortland, New York. Excellent. Dr. Stacy in Indy. Hello. Noble Kids vitamins came in today. Yes, I actually was told that some of the kids. I actually saw in a post that a patient got their Noble Patriot Kids vitamins 2 days in. They already noticed a difference. Boom! That's my victory right there. Love it. I do have energy. I have even more energy tonight after what happened today. Okay. Let's see. Connie, Nebraska. Welcome. Tammy in New Mexico. Beautiful place. I don't know that I could live in the West because it looks like Mars, but really hot. I like hot. I like humid hot. I don't love bake me hot, but it is beautiful to go to. Melanie in Ontario. Hello. Excellent. Murfreesboro, Nashville, Tennessee. Awesome, Barb. Welcome. It's froze. I don't know what to tell you if it's froze. Everything on my end is going clean and nice and good. All right. I'm going to start because I have a lot of video tonight, okay? A lot of video. I rewrote this whole thing. I had a whole show written for you earlier this afternoon. I was ahead of the game. Boom, boom, boom. Even after the interview with Blayne, I was way ahead, which was a phenomenal interview. If you have not watched that, go back and watch it. What a good dude. But I had wrote it, and then the president decides to do what he did, and I had to rewrite the whole thing, but it's even more fun now. So the first thing I'm going to do is put your seatbelts on. We're not going to have a long night, but I got to get some information out to you, and some of it's video, okay? And I'm going to narrate some stuff for you, but the first thing is, before I dive in, Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. I just need to let everyone know up front. Today was like a Christmas day for many of us. If you don't understand what truthers have been through, whether you're 20, 30 years old or you're 70, 80 years old, does not matter. The years that we have been studying and researching and pounding through material, understanding what was going on behind the scenes before it ever came to light, the amount of time, effort, energy, Many of us didn't watch television, weren't being entertained. It was reading through books, watching documentaries, diving deep on weekends up till 1, 2, 3 in the morning, trying to find deep what is happening to our world. I've been studying New World Order vaccination stuff for over 15 years now. Over that. So when we get something like today, you have to understand what that means to every single person who's been told that we have a tinfoil hat on because we believed the world there was something wrong and we weren't buying into the false narrative, the official story. I will be dead honest with you. When I watched what the president said today, which I am going to go through tonight, I will be honest with you, there were tears. Because it's a validation of what we know to be true and what we have been digging for a long time. I'm going to show you the video tonight. I'm going to show you another video before that, but I'm going to show you the video tonight of what he said, and I will narrate you through it and what to look for. So stay tuned for that. It's coming, okay? But if you... I'm not upset that people took offense to a word that I use, but I'm going to address that really fast, okay? I am not a perfect person. Neither are you. So the majority of you, I'm not talking to you at all. I'm talking to you, to the select few who are not able to comprehend or hear or see words that might be out of your vocabulary because you're too good for a swear word. All right? People swear. They're words. They're not weapons. They don't kill people. They're amplifiers. They're intensifiers of what is going on. Right? You do realize the President of the United States drops the F-bomb all the time and drops other words as well. You realize the military that you support drops F-bombs all the time and other words that you've probably never even heard of. There's this whole theory out there that people who swear are unintelligent. Sorry. Swear words have nothing to do with intelligence. I know billionaires who drop F-bombs like it's going off left and right. And I know people who have a penny to their name who drop F-bombs left and right. It means nothing. They're intensifiers. I had a person say, what would you do if your daughter swore? Well, guess what? My wife and I don't make a habit of swearing around the house. But yes, sometimes words slip out. And my daughter has heard those. And guess what? My daughter has never sworn. Even though she's heard me, my wife, and others use those words. Right? The fact that you're putting such a stigma on a word is actually on you. Right? So this is my theory when it comes to kids with swear words. Kids are going to say swear words. I was swearing when I was in like elementary school because kids were swearing. If you don't think kids aren't swearing, come on, like give me a break. So here is my theory and how my house operates on swear words. My wife and I are liberal with our mouths, but we kind of keep it, a little clear around her. If she comes and she swears, I, first of all, will not yell at her for it. I do not believe in yelling at kids because they used a word that they heard from somewhere else. On top of that, I will not yell at her. I will sit down and say, hey, just so you know, here's some words. They're not exact. They're considered swear words. I'm just truthful and honest. These are swear words. So do me a favor. I don't mind if you use them every once in a while, if you get mad at something or something's really like amazing or whatever it is, as long as you're not dropping them every other sentence. Now, if you're dropping them every other sentence just to do it, we're going to have a problem. We're going to go over that. But if I hear them out of your mouth every once in a while, I really don't have a big deal over it. All right. And then keep in mind, I would also say, be careful in society, because if you use it a lot, people are going to look at you and frown upon you. But this whole thing that you can't, I will tell you right now. All right. I'm going to tell you right now. This is a bold call on my part. If you are a weak individual who cannot handle a swear word here and now, off and on, you need to leave my page. You need to get off this page because this page is not for weak individuals. This page is not for people who can't handle adult human beings. So, if I lose 5 people or I lose 20,000 people, I don't care because I'm standing up for what is actually right. What happened today was massive in the movement to take back the world from very bad people. My celebration today, and by the way, we didn't win anything. I'm just celebrating being validated. I celebrated as if our team just ran about 90 yards and scored a touchdown off of an interception. That's called a celebration. You're allowed to have those every once in a while. It doesn't mean we've won the war. It means we had a very big win in the battle. All right? So I will leave it at that. If you have a problem with those kind of words, get off the page. Unfollow. Unsubscribe. It's okay because every one of you that leaves because you can't handle it, there'll be 100 that jump on because they actually believe that there's a movement and they understand how human beings and life works. Good. Now, we're going to dive in. The first video is longer. Many of you have never seen this before. That's why I want to show it. I've seen it several times. Many of you have seen it before, but it's always good to remember what we're battling for. This is a longer video. Hang in there. You're still going to like it. And then we're going to dive into the president right after that. Let's go.
Have you ever wondered why we go to war? Or why you never seem to be able to get out of debt? Why there is poverty, division, and crime? What if I told you there was a reason for it all? What if I told you it was done on purpose? What if I told you that those who were corrupting the world, poisoning our food, and igniting conflict were themselves about to be permanently eradicated from the earth? You might think that an idealistic fantasy. Well, let me tell you a story. We acknowledge there are criminals, of course. They rob your house, they steal your phone. They can murder you too if they think they can get away with it. We have all experienced criminals in one way or another. Criminals, as we know, are those who choose personal gain over the rights of others and have no regard for the law. But here is where you need to expand your thinking. Criminals can also succeed in business and politics and can be elected as our leaders. If a criminal became the president, imagine what they could achieve. They could use the full weight of their executive power to commit much larger crimes and ensure they and their friends were enriched to the fullest extent possible. A criminal president could create alliances with other criminal presidents and then collaborate on more global criminal activities. Anything goes. Drug running, human trafficking, whatever makes the big bucks. The 20th century was turbulent with war, economic disaster, famines, and displacement. We have always accepted these things as just human nature, and simply the way the world works. Something inevitable, and due to the weaknesses of human nature that drive us to these actions. This is where we were all tragically wrong. You are not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. So how can we just assume that it is human nature that is driving all this pain and misery? What if it wasn't human nature at all, and as a result of something more deliberate? We were taught that capitalism was the cause of a massive rich-poor divide and the reason for poverty, which in turn is the reason for war, crime, and starvation. Others were taught that communism, the system of equal wealth across all people, was really to blame for the mess. But you see, folks, it is none of these things. It is not our nature to fight and be racist. It is not in our nature to rob from others. What you must learn is that it was the criminals all along. Yes, they got power. More power than a criminal should ever have. They rose to the top of media companies that control our news and entertainment. They ascended to the top of the banking system, also to the Oval Office, to Brussels, to the Vatican, to the Crown. They crept in quietly, They became leaders of agricultural companies who have control over our food supply. Also big pharmaceutical companies, the ones we trust to help us when we're sick. Nobody stopped them, and they just recruited more criminals to help them. First, they accumulated the world's wealth. They invented a system of money called central banking, which lends money to governments with interest, placing countries into eternal debt. People's wealth got less. Their wealth got more. Much more. When a criminal is already as rich as they can get, then protecting their ill-gotten gains becomes the priority. Angry citizens tired of being poor are a major obstacle and can revolt if they suffer enough. The criminals needed to prevent this. So they diverted attention to the last remaining competitor, the people of the world. You and me. We were not happy being ruled by criminals and having to work 3 jobs just to survive. They know we won't accept it. So they use their control of the media to set black against white, woman against man, young against old, Muslim against Christian. They convinced us we were the problem so that we would fight and destroy ourselves. To get it done faster, they attacked all aspects of humanity that make us strong. Like family. Using their influence over culture, they popularized lifestyle choices that led to a surge in broken homes, lost youth, and substance abuse. I could talk all day about how else they deliberately weakened us, and it would turn your stomach. We were just trying to get on with living. So where are all the good guys? Good people just want to get married, have kids, make a living, and enjoy their liberty. Well, there were good guys. Many. One became the President of the United States in January 1961. He knew about these criminals and wanted them gone. He knew their intentions for us all, and he wanted to fight them. Sadly, he had no idea how powerful they had become. Reagan also had good intentions for the American people. He knew this criminal mafia controlled almost everything by this stage, including the powerful rogue intelligence agencies. His economic policies were promising, but the criminals needed a weak America to hold on to their power. Reagan was shown with a bullet that a growing U.S. economy and prosperous citizens were not what the criminals wanted. It was looking pretty grim for good people. Every time someone wanted to stand up and do the right thing, they got stopped. Were we ever to be freed? These criminals are also known as the Deep State, or Cabal, because of how they control things behind the scenes. Every president after Reagan was one of these Deep State criminals, and their empire got even stronger. With each bad president came new depths America and the world would sink. The world collapsed into darkness. Do you need me to tell you how? Destroyed factories, declining job numbers, sicker people, opioids, destruction of Iraq, Syria, and Yemen with pointless war, displacement of people into Europe, ISIS, terrorism, collapsed governments, poverty, and genocide. Total misery. Do you think that was inevitable? Hell no. Well, here is where things start to take a new turn. When the full picture comes to be known, it will forever be regarded as the greatest story ever told. Well, here is the top line. Some good people still held positions of power. They valued humanity and the rule of law. While the criminals discussed their game plan at the annual Bilderberg meetings, the good guys were making plans of their own. The information age was coming to change history forever. As the internet flooded into every home and appliances became smarter, and when people started carrying tracking devices, an opportunity to put an end to criminal control over the world was emerging. We became connected, trackable, and surveilled. But so did they. They became dependent, just like we did, on email, SMS, instant communication. It made crime much easier, but it also put them on a grid that, if accessed by the right people, would expose their crimes to the public and end their iron grip on us once and for all. In this new age of information, it was thought that the military should also have its own intelligence agency to focus on cybercrime and espionage. They called this the NSA, the National Security Agency. Here we had every phone call, email, and text from every device stored and archived. Whether it be someone making a doctor's appointment, or the deep state setting up a massive heroin purchase from the Taliban. In the right hands, it would be enough information to expose the entire sinister criminal plot to rub us blind and wipe us out. Hold that thought. Now I need to explain the plan. The good guys were devising a plan to reclaim the world from the cabal and return it to the people. It would involve alliances with multiple countries, since the criminals had global rat lines, trade, and other infrastructure in place that would need their cooperation. It came down to two choices for America: launch a military coup to seize the government from whichever cabal puppet was in the White House at the time, or win legitimately, take control of the NSA, expose the criminals for what they are, and arrest them all. Obviously, the first option would be very troubling for the public. With people still preoccupied with cabal-engineered social issues, they would likely revolt and hurt themselves and others. No, it would have to be the latter. So they needed a candidate who could win, and who could win big. Many states like California had been so heavily inundated by criminals that even the voting machines were electronically set up to swing votes any which way. It would need to be a very decisive victory. Good patriots in the US military and their global partners asked Trump to run for president so they could take back control of America legitimately without alarming the public. Trump was a good choice, obviously, because he overcame the voter fraud and won. But he was a patriot, and he was loved and admired by the public. He was not interested in joining the cabal, because they hated America and he did not agree with them on that point. As soon as he showed interest in taking power, they activated their media assets to viciously turn on him. That's when we saw the sudden hatred emerge. Even when he won, the cabal still had no idea what he was a part of, and the sophisticated plan that was about to unfold against them. Shocked at their loss, they mobilized their full arsenal of intelligence, media, money, and technology to try and take back power. Their people at the top of the DOJ and FBI then put together a plan to frame Trump and have him impeached. This is where we come back to the NSA again. All messages were stored and could be used to expose this plot and prevent Trump's overthrow. An entire book will be written about the first 2 years of Trump's presidency. False flag terror attacks, downed planes, missile alerts, assassination attempts. Here is the point. The world is currently experiencing a dramatic covert war of biblical proportions. Literally the fight for Earth, between the forces of good and evil. I can't put it in simpler terms, but I can say it appears the good guys are winning. The cabal had complete control over North Korea. They hijacked the Kim dynasty, took them hostage, and worked to build up a nuclear arsenal to threaten the world. Kim Jong-un suddenly embracing peace was simply because the deep state were beaten and driven out. ISIS was also destroyed in the year following Trump's win. We are all starting to see the pattern now, that enough time has passed, that our biggest global concerns are starting to recede, and peace is returning. It is all evidence that the good guys are winning the war. But we are still in the middle. While a lot is improving, it still puzzles many that most of these known criminals are still free, especially the higher-ups like Hillary Clinton, the Bushes, and Obama. That is coming in the next part of the story. That's why we have Q. The good guys with control over the NSA began the Q intelligence dissemination program to invoke an online grassroots movement that came to be called the Great Awakening. It started on underground internet channels and then moved to the mainstream. Q has been a fun distraction for those who follow world events and desire truth, but it is about to begin a much more important and necessary phase, keeping the public informed when the deep state war breaks out onto the surface. By this, I mean high-profile arrests. Yes, folks, the criminals I'm referring to are famous politicians, actors, singers, CEOs, and celebrities. People who have earned our trust, respect, and admiration. They have done very bad things that are all fully known and documented, and they will be severely punished. Those of us who have followed Q since the beginning will be here to help you make sense of the coming events. We are among the first to realize that our petty partisan divisions are just trivial distractions, and we are all enslaved by a hidden enemy. We realize that the problem was never capitalism or socialism, Democrat or Republican, black or white, Muslim or Christian. We know it was just very powerful criminals who had too much power. Fellow slaves, it's time to buckle your seatbelt. Recognize your true enemy, and embrace a new future that we all owe to the brave patriots who risked their lives to achieve this victory against the greatest force of evil the world has ever known. May God bless America.
Okay, so I know many of you have seen that, many have not seen that, but I wanted to let you see it because I get asked a lot, what is this? How do I find it? I don't know what it is. This is the plan. So the most common question I get is, when is it happening? What is happening? I don't know what's happening, etc. It's happening, or it has already happened. You have to follow, you have to dive, you have to research, you have to go to the amount of hours I spend now researching and watching videos online, and whether it's economy or it's business news or it's politics or it's world politics, it's hours upon hours upon hours daily. You have to dive. So I know a lot of people want me to give them all the details. I can summarize it best for you every single night in a daily and posts, etc. But you have to dive. You have to go in and you have to understand. You have to wake yourself up. That is the ultimate way of going about this. All right. This is up to you to wake up. I'm going to show you the video now of the president and what he said today and why that video was so important. Because you can say PSYOP all day long. Well, what if it's a PSYOP? What if Trump is against us? What choice do you have at this point? You saw that video. They're poisoning you. They're imprisoning you. They're making you a debt slave. You clearly know that Biden is not the answer. So the person we have that seems like they're going to do it and carry this out is President Trump. If he turns at the last minute, then guess what? We're all in the foxhole together. I can't change that. However, I can put all of my energy and determination behind at least someone has a plan, and it's a plan that would be completely ideal. So I am getting behind that plan. So keep your PSYOP stuff for yourself. I understand. Trust me. I've researched it all. He could be a bad guy completely. He could be in bed with the bankers. But this is the shot we have. This is what I'm going with. And if it turns, let's get ready to play defense. That's the best I got for you. So let's move forward. Now, the president took one Q question, I think a week ago, and he basically deflected it by congratulating a congressional runner. Today, he got the mother of all Q questions, and the president played it literally perfect. So let me take you to that video, who many of you have not seen yet, all right? I'm going to play it all through. I may stop in between. I don't know. We'll see. Let me get it all set up.
Questions? Yeah, please.
During the pandemic, the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk
So he acknowledged it right away. Okay, let's go.
about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. But I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I've heard, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me. And they also would like to see problems in these areas, like especially the areas that we're talking about, go away, because there's no reason the Democrats can't run a city. And if they can't, we will send in all of the federal, whether it's troops or law enforcement, whatever they'd like. We'll send them in. We'll straighten out their problem in 24 hours or less. Okay?
Well, just real quick, at the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind? Or
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, you know, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there, and we are actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country, and when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow. The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this.
So how many things can we, how many, I was beaming after I watched this, and then I watched it a couple more times. First of all, one of the most important things with the president you can do is not only listen to his words, but watch his facial expressions, watch his eyes, watch his head movements, because it's genius. Now, she asked the wrong question. She asked the QAnon movement, which gave him the perfect segue to say he doesn't know much. He doesn't know much about them, because he doesn't. Does he know every single QAnon? No, he does not. And he does not fully know what they're doing all the time and what they're researching, etc., because there's so many of them. They didn't ask him, what about Q, or what about Q plus? They didn't ask him that question. He answered the question they asked him. All right. If you guys, if there's a social media problem with voice or audio, everything on my end's perfect. It's welcome to social media. If you have to go to my website, you have to go to my website, therevolutionnetwork.com. It's all there live streaming. They can't take that down. Okay. His eyes were telling the story. His nodding was telling the story. When she asked him, oh, and by the way, they really seem to like me, and they really love this country. He's giving positive all back. He damn well knows what QAnons are. You know, like, he retweets QAnons. But he doesn't know about them because he doesn't know them. He's a chess master. Now, she asked him at the end about the satanic pedophile cannibal cult, right? And he said, now, as she was asking him, he nodded his head just slightly. And his eyes flickered up like, yes, like he knows, right? And then all he said was, would that be a bad thing? Like, he totally flipped it on her, like she was saying it was bad. Like, her question made it sound like it would be bad to take down a satanic, pedophile, human trafficking, cannibal ring, cult ring. He totally flipped it on her and said, why would we think that's bad? That's good. We would take that down. And then he said, we're taking down the problem. And then he said, we're going to take down the hard left liberal agenda, which is destroying all these cities. And no one wants to see that happen. And then he said at the end, if America goes down, the world goes down. Have you heard of where we go one, we go all? He's speaking in code. He's answering the question literally perfect. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I will tell you, the reason I went on a posting spree was because this was such a gift to all of the digital soldiers out there. And I don't care. When I say digital soldier, I don't mean that you have to go and, study and research as deep as all of us do. You could be posting a meme a day and you're a digital soldier. Anything that puts out information and knowledge. And you know what? For all those people out there who have any problems with the Q movement or what we think, I dare you to go read every single one of the posts from number 1 all the way through 4,000, whatever we have right now. How many out there, how many of you have read or at least researched and scanned through all 4,000 plus Q drops to understand what actually really all went down or is going down? All right. So important. And he literally, now he said he doesn't know much about them. He understands the movement, likes him very much. He says he understands the movement, doesn't like what's going on in cities. And then he says it's not a bad thing to save the world from bad people. Like he's just pointing out all the good things. Now, I will tell you, one of the things we have to be very cautious of. The deep state is probably going to run some situation where there's either an attack on the president or there's a false flag of some kind, even possibly an assassination attempt, where a Q person or a QAnon was the source of the violence. It is very important to know that QAnon, from the very beginning, has been an anti-violent movement. You watch the video. This is being left up to our U.S. military to carry out the problem at hand, and it's our digital soldiers' responsibility to push out massive amounts of knowledge to wake up as many people to this as possible. Because when you find out at the end what's going on and what happens, and when people find out what's really happening and you see the carnage that we didn't know about, you're going to have to be very awake, or it's going to take a toll on your body and your soul and your mind. The cat's out of the bag now. Every single mainstream media and Twitter personality out there is out there promoting that the President of the United States supports and promotes and didn't condone the QAnon conspiracy theory about human trafficking, pedophile cannibals. It's out. It is time to wake everybody up. You need to share this information as fast as possible. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to be called crazy by a lot of people. And you have to be willing to get over that, or you're going to struggle. I guarantee it, just so you know. All right? You have to be ready to be called crazy. That's why if you went and saw my posts or you went and saw other Anon's posts, like, it was an emotional moment for us. Because we've spent decades going against the grain, being the crazy ones, but knowing full well that we knew there was something to this and all of the things going on in the world, the vaccinations, the medications, the food system, the politics, everything. The Federal Reserve, we knew. We don't mind being called crazy, but damn it, we are going to appreciate and enjoy the day that it comes out, even just a little bit today, that shows we're not crazy. We're actually the only ones that are awake. It is now your duty to go out there and make this go farther as fast as humanly possible. Maybe, as my friend called it, Matt, Operation Warp Speed. Because the other video I watched today again, and I urge you to watch it. I'll even drop a link if I have to. I want you to go watch in January when the president spoke at Davos. Let me actually show you which one it is so you can see it. and what it looks like. It's only 30 minutes. You have plenty of time to watch it. I'm going to bring it up here for you really quick, just so you can see it. Let's see. Full speech at Davos. All right. I will drop this link, but I'm going to show you really quick what it looks like, just so you can see it. All right. It's going to be a YouTube link, and I will drop this link afterwards.
The president's here now.
The website. So here you go. I'm going to show you real quick what it looks like so you can see. When you get a chance, okay, go watch this 30-minute speech that was in January 21st, 2020. President Trump's full speech at Davos World Economic Forum. By the way, if you hadn't noticed in the back, the three O's in World Economic Forum line up with the line that goes through them that makes 666. Welcome to the World Economic Forum. All right. Now, the crazy part about that video that I just showed you was right after that, after his speech, and wait till you hear the speech, because the mainstream media won't show you that speech. Right after that was when COVID hit. They unleashed COVID right after he spoke, right? Most likely, or they released it to the public, I should say, right after they couldn't flip him at Davos. And yes, someone said purple symbolizes royalty. That is correct, okay? Go watch the Davos speech. I challenge you. It's amazing. I'm watching it again. All right. Watch out. Watch out for the false flags that are blamed on QAnon at this point. So much so, here is Bill Kristol. Let me show you his tweet. Bill Kristol's tweet was, the President of the United States is attacking the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and defending QAnon. All right. Now, if you didn't know, the President tweeted out this morning that Goodyear is a terrible company because they are a China company. This is what happened to Goodyear's stock today. Talk about crash. It crashed. It's coming back up a little bit. It will crash again. I guarantee it's going to go straight. It's going to go down. There's no way that thing recovers from the president talking crap about it. All right. So it was very, very fascinating, and I quite enjoyed it. Now, I want to show you two more clips. One of them is regarding the Democratic National Convention and President Clinton. And if you've never heard of Greg Gutfeld, I don't remember the name of the show on Fox News. Greg Gutfeld is one of my favorites. I love his sarcastic attitude and personality. Let me show you this 2-minute video of Greg Gutfeld on President Clinton.
Watching TV in Grandma's basement during a lockdown, get a big bag of uncooked popcorn and chill as Bill Clinton lectures Donald Trump about proper conduct in the Oval Office.
At a time like this, the Oval Office should be a command center. Instead, it's a storm center. There's only chaos. Just one thing never changes: his determination to deny responsibility and shift the blame. The buck never stops there.
Yep, the Oval Office should be a command center. To command what? An intern to keep you company? Had to change that sentence. Let's not forget, the buck didn't stop at his desk, and neither did the screwing around. So he lied and lied, which is hardly a bug in his system when you're chasing skirts instead of terrorists. Remember who was president for a month when the first World Trade Center attack took place, and who was president for over 7 years before the second one. Imagine if Clinton had focused on bin Laden instead of babes. How different would the world be? No 9/11, no Afghanistan war, all that blood and treasure expended because a guy couldn't zip it up. Is that a stretch? Probably, maybe, who knows, could have happened anyway. But now you have Democrats rapidly blaming COVID deaths on Trump, so everything's on the table, including the waitress, right, Chris Dodd? Sorry, no matter how much Botox you've injected, Bill Clinton lecturing anyone on conduct is hard to take with a straight face. It's like Hillary lecturing you on honesty, or CNN denying the existence of media bias, or Andrew Cuomo writing a book on how to fight COVID. Anyway, you see this picture? Take a look at Bill getting a hands-on experience from an Epstein victim. Now there's a great political ad for Joe Biden. I'm Bill Clinton, and I approve this massage.
So Gutfield. I love Greg Gutfield. I love him even more after that, but he is tremendous and he's dead on true. I'm telling you right now, people are waking up. This country is waking up. They're waking up. We have so many people that are waking up to what is going on. It's absolutely unbelievable. And I can feel it that we have this shot to take America back. To do that, you have to show up. You must show up to the voting booths, to social media, to your friends, to your family. This is an information war, and you must get information out to as many people as possible, and you must defend everything about this country and the path that we're on right now. Now, before I finish tonight, I want to show you an amazing human being. And quite honestly, this is a piece of marketing genius. Politicians are typically really boring and they have terrible ads and they just kind of suck because they know that they're just trying to get by. There's a woman, I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. There's a woman running for Congress out of Baltimore. And all I'm going to do is show you her campaign ad. Here you go.
Do you care about Black lives? The people that run Baltimore don't. I can prove it. Walk with me. They don't want you to see this. I'm Kim Klasick. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This is the reality for Black people every single day. Crumbling infrastructure, abandoned homes, poverty, and crime. Baltimore has been run by the Democrat Party for 53 years. What is the result of their decades of leadership? Baltimore is one of the top 5 most dangerous cities in America. The murder rate in Baltimore is 10 times the U.S. average. The Baltimore poverty rate is over 20%. Homicide, drug, and alcohol deaths are skyrocketing in our city. Do you believe Black Lives Matter? I do. The vast majority of crime in Baltimore is perpetrated against Black people, who make up 60% of the population. So why don't we care about our communities? The Democrat Party have betrayed the Black people of Baltimore. If the politicians walked the streets like I do, they would see exactly how their policies and corruption affects us. But they don't want to see it. They don't want you to see this. Go to any Baltimore neighborhood and ask this question. Do you want to defund the police?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
I had 3 sons killed in Baltimore City. And I think if we defund the police office, it's going to be worse than that. So no, I'm opposed to that.
What are you going to defund the police for? Why? How do you defend your city, your community? Families are losing people.
It's not just Baltimore. The worst place for a Black person to live in America is a Democrat-controlled city. It's 2020. Name a blue city where Black people's lives have gotten better. Try. I'll wait. Look at this. How are children supposed to live here and play here? Democrats think Black people are stupid. They think they can control us forever, that we won't demand better, and that we'll keep voting for them forever, despite what they've done to our families and our communities. Are they right? I'm Kim Klasick, and I'm running for Congress because I actually care about Black lives. All Black lives matter. Our communities matter. Baltimore matters, and black people don't have to vote Democrat.
Yeah, so she's a bit of a rock star. I will probably donate at least a couple bucks to her because God bless her for being willing to chat and talk about it and get the word out. Apparently, Q dropped. So basically, ask yourself. Here it is. I'll just bring it up so people don't know what Q drops mean. Okay. Let's see. Ask yourself a very simple question. Why is everything REQ being censored, banned, and attacked? When do you expend ammunition resources? So that's the first one. It sounds like there'll probably be new ones coming after that. So we'll keep an eye on it. But it's a day to celebrate today. It's a night to celebrate. We are winning. We are gaining. We are going to get our country back, and it's going to be day by day as we go. I am open to some questions tonight. Let's do like 5 minutes of questions. I'm dropping this down below because people are asking me. Noble Patriot Health, right? Or I'm sorry, yeah, noblepatriot.health.com right there. noblepatriotkids.com right there. Who has questions that I can help with tonight? All right. By the way, that was a genius ad. Whoever is her marketing team deserves major kudos, okay? Major kudos. Who's got questions for me? Who's got questions? I'll answer them the best I can. All right? Do I still think Shadowgate is still a hoax? I don't believe Shadowgate. I don't buy. It's not that I don't buy Shadowgate the movie and some of the details. What I don't fully buy is that they put it out for the correct reason. The reason I say that is because there's a lot of evidence behind Alex Jones. Obviously, a lot of PR, but there's a lot of evidence behind Alex Jones being Mossad. That's the reason I'm concerned about it. Okay. Okay. I heard there would be an attack on Trump on August 27th. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Who you guys all want? The video of Trump or the video of the Q in the beginning? I posted my mattress link. I'll post it again. Red shoes was, guys, okay. So a Republican congresswoman wearing red shoes is not like the red shoe cult. Red shoes are also a sign of power. That girl got some confidence. I can tell you that right now. You don't just walk through Baltimore like that. And you can see it on her face. She's like ready to kick ass. I did not buy. I didn't even think of the red shoes. She just walking and taking names. That's all. I don't think you have to worry about her being in the red shoe cult. That's not what the red was for. The red was for power and confidence. Let's see. You listened to Ike on AJ today. I didn't know Ike was on AJ today. I'll have to check it out. Correct, Tawak. It's not the same as the Pope wearing red shoes. Exactly. Let's see. Turning Baltimore red. That is exactly what it was. Nice marketing mind there. I like that. Turning Baltimore red, and red is power. Absolutely. And that's why the pedos wore red shoes. It was power over children. You can also have power over, changing a city to red. That's power too. The president has power. She looked like she owned the place. Absolutely, she did. Let's see. The Q video, please. I will post the Q video. I will put the Q video in the comments. All right. How can you watch Trump talking about Q? It's all over Twitter. I'm telling you guys, you need to get on Twitter. Like, Twitter is the place it's at. Twitter and Parler now. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to have Twitter. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's where a lot of the information comes. A lot of the information is on Twitter. Twitter is where the research is going down. I will put out all the links of all the videos. Clearly, everyone wants it. Yes, we should be going back to a constitutional republic. And today, by the way, Rudy Giuliani posted that tomorrow he's going to say something about going back to a republic. I don't know what that means. Yes, the Q questions will intensify. Exactly, Trev. You think they're not going to ask more Q questions? Of course they are. The president will be ready. Do you think we'll see any emergency broadcasting soon? Yes, I do. I do think so. Yep, I do. Go research. Stop expecting to be spoon-fed. I agree, Sherry. Let's see. Twitter. I will tell you, I don't actually scroll my Facebook feed anymore. I am on Twitter and Parler mostly, and YouTube. How do you find the Q drops in they're not on 4chan anymore. Q is on 8chan now, not 4chan. 4chan was done a long time ago. Q is on 8chan. Go to qmap.pub. Rudy, yeah, I'm not a fan of Rudy Giuliani because of 9/11, but maybe he flipped. Somebody asked me if I really believe Charlie Freak. I don't not believe Charlie Freak. I love his insight and I love what he thinks could happen. I don't know his source. He's going to come on the show at some point. We just got to get scheduled. So it's not that I don't believe him or even Charlie Ward. I have a healthy skepticalness. Now, when I interview Freak and when I interview Ward, which Ward is next Wednesday night at 9:30, I will ask them questions like that. Hey, how can we trust you? But I'm also not going to beat them up either. I mean, my goal is not to be so skeptical that I destroy people. My job is, keep in mind, did you know even if sometimes information is not fully true, but it's positive, it can still help change the direction of where we're going? So even if Charlie Freak has zero sources and Charlie Ward have zero sources, but yet they're being positive and they're hoping it goes in the correct direction, and maybe they meditate or they pray on it or whatever it is, that's still better than nothing. And who knows, maybe they're getting signals, maybe they're getting messages. I'll tell you, a lot of people get messages that they then portray to the public out there. I mean, you can go to YouTube and a lot of people are channeling, a lot of people are doing a lot of things like that. Just because you don't understand it, don't just knock him down, okay? He is a little creepy, okay. Let's see. I like truth better. Okay, I think Michelle just posts a lot of stuff that's blah most of the time. Whatever. Welcome to the trolls. It happens. Trolls mean you're successful. That's what they mean, okay? So we're here to be positive and push forward a good America and a good earth in good other countries. Let's see. Governor Abbott says he will defund any city that funds the police. Cool. A couple more questions. My wife should channel more. My wife is more of a healthcare channeler. My wife is more of that. My wife and I get along very well because we're very different. We're literally the yin yang. Trust me, we are. We are exactly that. I'm the hyper one. She's the calm one. I get excited. She stays calm. My wife, by the way, knows every single thing we talk about right now. She knows all about it. She's in full agreement. She understands it all. She's researched as well. It's just not her. That's not her thing. Her thing is being a Dr. Mama Bear. Her thing is helping women, children, families get healthy. That's her thing. But yes, trust me, she knows about everything we're talking about. She understands it all. She's read it too. All right. Okay, good. Blockchain voting. We talked about that last night. Blockchain voting is most likely coming before the election or next election cycle. I don't know though. We want her channel. We are getting her channel built up. Go to her website, her Facebook page right now, and then we're getting her YouTube set up. So her videos will also be on YouTube, okay? Yeah, I know that there's a vaccine thing in Massachusetts for flu before college or school. That's pretty messed up. But there's exemptions, guys. You have to know about the exemptions, okay? I will go over blockchain more. Yes, I'm actually working on another crypto person that can go over that with us as well, because a lot of the crypto experts know it far better than I do. Okay. Okay, 30 more seconds, and then I'm headed out. and I'm going to go browse Twitter for a little bit and go to bed. Yes, Dr. Mama Bear, absolutely. I do, by the way, the new King of England, I don't buy into that. No, I don't. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. I could be wrong, but it doesn't make sense to me. Do I think Democratic? Let's see. Please message me on LA. Message me afterwards. I don't know what you're talking about because I didn't see your other posts. Okay. Okay. There is a new queue. We already over it. Maybe there's another one. I don't know. I'll look at it after this. I'm at an hour, and I actually am a little tired tonight, so it's gonna be a little bit of Twitter after this, and then off to bed. Let's see. Okay. I have a lot of questions. Another queue. There must be another queue. I told you he's gonna drop. He'll probably drop more tonight, or it, they, who knows? Okay. If you need help, these are the places. My hands go all over the place because it's hard to know where to point. Okay, guys, you have a beautiful night, a lovely night. Serve and help people. That's what we do. Be a light in this world. Go serve and help your fellow human being, man, woman, child. I love you all. I love you dearly. I appreciate all you noble patriots. And it is an honor and a blessing to share with you every single night. And I appreciate all of you. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network. Have a wonderful night.